And congratulations for taking the first step into a new world of exercise, fitness, and rehabilitation. The aerial operates unlike any other exercise system in the world. During the next few minutes, you'll learn the basics. But don't stop there. Take some time to experiment on the machine yourself. The user's manual will help you through each step on your way to mastering the aerial. And don't be afraid of making a mistake. There's almost no way you can damage the system. The first time you sit down at your aerial exercise station, it will have been properly installed and tested to make sure each component is up and running. Let's take a look at those components. First, there's the exercise station itself. It could be either an arm, leg, back exerciser, or the one we call the multifunction exerciser. Both machines are controlled by a hydraulic system, which is in turn controlled by the computer. This hydraulic system allows the machine to apply resistance of any desired amount to the bar of the exercise station. It also means that the bar will simply stop when you stop. By providing resistance in two directions on each repetition, opposing muscle groups are trained simultaneously. And because continuous muscular effort is required throughout the range of motion, exercise is more efficient and effective. Making adjustments of the bench or seat for different exercises is a simple matter. You should become familiar with the proper position of the equipment for each exercise you do. The control console, a powerful microcomputer, includes the keyboard and 2 disk drives. You will be viewing the monitor and may have an optional printer, buffer, or videotape recorder. There are 2 basic ways to exercise on the aerial system. The first is with a pre-programmed disc that contains a complete exercise routine. This is called the programmed function. The other function is called manual. You select and perform each exercise as you go. If you're working with a pre-programmed disc, getting started is simple. The first step is to turn on the computer and wait for the monitor to show this screen. Insert your system diskette in this disk drive. Then, on the keyboard, type run, quote, aerial. Don't forget the quotation mark between the 2 words. You should see the system date on the screen. Place your pre-programmed disk in the other drive and press any key except the break key. In most cases, you'll see a list of names come up. Press the number next to the name you want. What you see on the monitor now is called the exercise parameter display. It contains information that's been specifically designed for this exercise program. Everything you need to know about these parameters is included in chapters 3 and 4 of the user's manual. To begin exercising, you must signal the computer that you're ready. You can do this by pressing any key except break, or by moving the bar slightly. From here, the machine takes over and will guide you through the routine, starting with 1 repetition of each exercise to establish your range of motion. The screen provides immediate feedback on each repetition. There's even an audible beat that changes pitch with your effort for that repetition. When each exercise is completed, the system will play a brief tune and bar resistance will cease. The screen should look like this. Now you can look at a variety of results screens that tell you how you did. Chapter 5 in the manual explains each of these in detail and describes how to access them. After completing the prescribed number of exercises on the disc, your session is over. The results are automatically saved on the disc. Chapters 6 and 7 detail the procedures for generating reports on these results in the form of both graphs and tables. When you're not using a pre-programmed disc, the manual function is automatically activated. Just sign on, as before, and when you see the aerial display, press any key except the break key. The next screen tells you there is no user diskette. Press the number 1 key to proceed. You'll be asked to choose the type of exercise you want to perform. Each exercise station has its own set of exercises from which to choose, and they both offer the option to define your own exercise. Chapter 4 has more about this. At this point, the system will ask you to choose an exercise mode. Exercise mode refers to the specific physical aspects of the exercise that will be controlled by the computer. There are several choices, and they are detailed in chapters 2 and 3. For now, let's look at variable velocity, the most commonly used mode. Here, the speed of bar movement is maintained at a pre-selected value, regardless of how much effort you exert. The computer automatically adjusts the amount of resistance necessary to maintain the desired bar velocity. So, the harder you push or pull, the more resistance you'll encounter. To select variable velocity, just press the corresponding number key on your keyboard. The top 2 green boxes set the bar velocity in degrees per second. They signify the speed of the bar at both the beginning and end of the upstroke and the downstroke. To set or change these values, move the cursor to the correct point by using the Enter key. Type in the desired velocities from the keyboard and press the Enter key to set them. Chapter 3 has more details. The other boxes on the parameter display indicate the amount of exercise you'll be doing per set, expressed in repetitions, time, work, or fatigue. And there are boxes for the number of sets, the resting time between sets, and the bar range in degrees. There are also other options that are all explained in Chapter 3. When the parameter screen is completed, you can press the B key to begin the exercise. Each exercise begins as in the programmed function by establishing the range of motion. After finishing your set, you can choose from a long list of exercise results by typing the number that corresponds to the result you want. Or you can press the break key to skip results and go on to the next exercise. But remember that in manual function, results are not saved on disk. At first glance, all of this may seem complicated, but it's really not. It's just a matter of getting online and doing it yourself. The system is user-friendly and always guides you from one step to the next. If you get lost, you can always refer to the user's manual. While we've really just scratched the surface, the manual covers everything you'll want to know in plain language. Once started, you'll quickly begin to recognize patterns of the system's behavior and appreciate its ease of operation. So why don't you rewind this videotape and get to work.